Hi, my name is Rosemary Blash, and I am going to show you how I teach reading comprehension. Reading comprehension is very important when it comes to really understanding what you are reading. You can read something and just read the words and really not understand what it is that you're reading, and that doesn't help you. That doesn't benefit you at all. But when you read something, you want to understand what is being said in the text. You want to learn from it. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to read a small portion of text, and I want you to really concentrate and listen very carefully, and I'm going to challenge you to tell me or tell yourself as much as you can about what I just read. This is a story about a bee flying into a window, and they're landing on a table. There was a great deal of noise and confusion, for it was dinner time and the guests were talking rather loudly, so that the bee got quite frightened. Still he tried to taste some rich sweetmeats that lay temptingly in a dish on the table, when all at once he heard a child exclaim with a shout, "Oh, there's a bee! Let me catch him!" On which he rushed hastily back to, as he thought, the open air. But alas, poor fellow, in another second he found that he had flung himself against a hard, transparent wall. Now, what I just did was I read a small portion of a story. And what I'm going to show you right now is how much I can remember of that story. And I challenge you, if you like to pause this tape and see how much you can remember, and then listen and see if we can determine if you remembered a lot or if I remembered a lot. So go ahead and pause this tape and then come back and hear what I remember of the story. So the bee flew into the window and landed on a table, and he was kind of confused because it was very loud. The people were talking very loudly, but he still wanted to try and see if he could taste some of the wonderful things on the table. And so as he attempted to do that, a child called out and said, "Oh, a bee! I want to catch him." So the bee tried to fly back out the window, but he wound up flinging himself against the transparent wall. So of course we know the transparent wall is the window. So how did I do? I remembered quite a few details, but I've been doing this for a while. If you remembered even just one detail, that is perfect, because the more you do this, the more you're going to be able to remember more details from the story. And then you can add in how the bee felt. You can talk about how the bee felt and maybe make a connection. That's another part of comprehension that we can talk about. A time when you felt frightened, or you saw wonderful food that you wanted to try. Or you can talk about the child, whether how the child felt. And you can make a connection there. Those are different elements of comprehension that I'll go in more in detail about. But that is a very big part of reading comprehension. Listening carefully to what is being read, even if you're reading it to yourself, you want to pay attention. And then you want to retell as much as you can from what you just read. I hope this has been helpful, and I hope that you'll challenge yourself and increase your reading comprehension.